There are times when strength is found not in words but in silence, not in sharing but in holding sacred. A wise woman knows that her energy, her dreams, and her pains are precious parts of herself, and she carefully chooses what to share and what to keep within. These choices are not about deception or distance, they are about protection, growth, and self-love. A wise woman understands that her dreams are not just goals, but the very essence of her soul's calling. These dreams, whether big or small, hold the potential to shape her future and the world around her. But before they can be shared or even understood by others, they must first be protected, nurtured, and allowed the time and space to grow. Dreams are delicate. They require an environment of trust and belief to thrive. The act of protecting her dreams is not one of secrecy or isolation, but rather an intentional act of self-preservation, ensuring that her visions are not prematurely interrupted or diminished by external influences. When a woman first envisions her dreams, they often come to her in a form that is not fully tangible, not yet clear in every detail. These dreams are raw, full of potential, but also vulnerable. If shared too soon, they can be met with doubt, misunderstanding, or even skepticism from those who may not see her vision the same way. This is why a wise woman knows the importance of keeping her dreams close, allowing them to develop quietly within her heart. She may share parts of them, hint at them, or speak of them in the abstract, but she keeps their true depth and essence sheltered from others until they are strong enough to withstand the world's expectations and judgments. Protecting her dreams does not mean that she locks them away in silence forever. It means she gives them the space to mature, to take root, and to find clarity. It's like planting a seed and carefully tending to it before it becomes a sapling that can stand strong on its own. At this early stage, sharing too much can expose the dream to external forces that may disrupt its delicate growth. Just as a gardener shields new plants from harsh winds or unexpected frost, a wise woman shields her dreams from negative energy, unsolicited advice, or anyone who might inadvertently cast doubt on her vision. This act of protection also helps her build the confidence she needs to bring those dreams into the world. The more she nurtures her inner vision, the stronger her belief in herself becomes. In silence, she works on the inner aspects of her dream, gathering knowledge, skills, and experience. She prepares herself for the challenges ahead. The more she protects her dream from the outside world, the more capable she becomes in shaping it with her own hands. She doesn't need external validation to fuel her belief. Her confidence comes from within, from knowing that the dream she holds is hers to build, and she is the only one who truly understands its full potential. Additionally, protecting her dreams means she keeps them safe from comparison. In a world where everyone's success is constantly on display, a wise woman knows that comparing her journey to others can dilute her vision. While it's natural to admire the achievements of others, she resists the temptation to measure her own progress against someone else's timeline. She knows that every dream has its own rhythm, its own path. By keeping her dreams protected, she avoids the trap of feeling like she's not enough or that her timeline isn't progressing quickly enough. Instead, she focuses on her own growth, trusting that the right opportunities will come when the time is right. The protection of her dreams also involves honoring her intuition and the quiet moments of insight she receives. There are moments when she will feel the pull to act on her dreams, moments when everything will seem to align and it will be clear that she's ready to take the next step. In those moments, she must trust herself completely, and she must protect her dreams from any form of doubt, fear, or hesitation. She knows that in these moments of clarity, the universe is speaking to her, guiding her toward the next chapter in her life. By protecting her dreams, she allows these moments of clarity to guide her toward the life she's destined to create. As the dream begins to solidify, the wise woman will eventually feel confident enough to share it with others, but she will do so when she knows her dream is strong enough to withstand the challenges and scrutiny that may follow. She will seek advice and feedback from those who she trusts deeply and whose judgment she values. And even then, she will listen with discernment, using their input to strengthen her vision rather than alter it. She knows that the dream belongs to her, and while others may offer support, only she has the power to shape it. In the end, the act of protecting her dreams is not an act of fear or insecurity, but one of deep respect and self-love. It's a way for her to honor the sacredness of her vision and to create the conditions necessary for it to flourish. The more she protects her dreams, the more she invests in herself, and the more likely it is that those dreams will eventually come to life in ways she can't yet imagine. And when they do, she will have the inner strength and confidence to embrace them fully, knowing that she gave them the protection they needed to grow into their fullest potential. There is something incredibly powerful about nurturing growth in silence. In a world that thrives on instant results and constant visibility, the act of silently growing can seem counterintuitive, even foreign. Yet for those who understand the deep strength of quiet progress, it becomes clear that the most profound transformations often happen behind the scenes, far away from the eyes of others. Growth in its truest form is not always loud or visible sometimes. It is the subtle unfolding that occurs when no one is watching. A wise woman knows this truth well. She understands that growth doesn't need to be broadcasted or validated by the approval of others. In fact, many of the most significant changes she experiences happen in the private moments of introspection, solitude, and quiet action. She nurtures these changes with patience, giving herself the time and space to evolve naturally without the pressures of external expectations. Growth in silence allows her to focus on what truly matters, her inner self. It's easy to get caught up in what others think, in what society expects, or in comparing one's progress to those around her. But when a woman chooses to nurture her growth in silence, she gives herself permission to let go of those distractions. She no longer measures her worth by the outward markers of success, such as accolades, recognition, or praise. Instead, she turns inward, focusing on the quiet shifts within her that reflect real change. This internal growth is often not seen by others, but it is deeply felt by her. It's in the moments of reflection when she understands that her transformation isn't defined by the applause or attention from the outside world, but by the peace, strength, and clarity that blooms within her heart. In silence, growth is free from judgment. When a woman is focused on her own development, without the eyes of the world upon her, she can embrace her imperfections with love. She can make mistakes, learn and grow from them without fear of criticism or rejection. This is an incredibly freeing experience, as the pressure to perform or be perfect is removed. She no longer feels the need to explain herself to others or justify her decisions. Instead, she can move forward at her own pace, embracing the ebb and flow of her personal growth journey. In this space of non-judgment, she learns that she doesn't have to be anything other than exactly who she is in that moment. Her worth is not contingent upon the approval of others, it is inherent in her being. Additionally, growth in silence allows her to cultivate resilience. In a society that often demands quick fixes and immediate gratification, there is a deep wisdom in allowing growth to happen over time. When a woman is not rushed or pressured to reach a certain outcome, she can develop a sense of inner fortitude. She learns that real change takes time, and that perseverance is often the key to success. By nurturing her growth in silence, she becomes accustomed to the natural rhythms of life, understanding that some things take longer than others, and that her efforts will bear fruit in their own time. This patience fosters a resilience that cannot be easily shaken, for she understands that every step, no matter how small, matters. One of the most profound aspects of nurturing growth in silence is the way it fosters self-reliance. When a woman chooses to focus on her personal growth in a quiet, undisturbed way, she becomes less dependent on external validation and more connected to her own intuition. She listens to her inner voice with trust and confidence, understanding that the answers she seeks are often already within her. In silence, she builds a strong relationship with herself, learning to trust her decisions, her strengths, and her instincts. This self-reliance is empowering as it allows her to make choices based on her own values and desires rather than the opinions of others. She becomes less influenced by the noise around her, more anchored in her own sense of purpose. Moreover, nurturing growth in silence allows her to focus on the subtler aspects of transformation that might otherwise be overlooked. Many people are quick to celebrate the big milestones, the promotions, the public successes, the visible achievements. But the real growth often happens in the quieter, less celebrated moments, the days of self-doubt, when she keeps going anyway, the moments when she chooses to forgive herself, the time she listens to her inner wisdom over external distractions. It is in these small, quiet choices that true transformation takes place. By nurturing these moments of growth in silence, she becomes aware of the nuances of her own evolution. She doesn't wait for the world to notice her changes, she celebrates them in her heart, knowing that the most important growth happens when no one else is looking. Finally, growth in silence teaches a woman the importance of inner peace. In a world that often values noise, activity, and productivity, silence becomes an oasis. It is a space where she can reflect, recalibrate, and reconnect with her inner essence. In the stillness, she can hear her own truth, separate from the clamor of the outside world. This peace is vital for sustaining long-term growth. Without it, she may find herself distracted or scattered, unable to truly connect with her purpose. But by nurturing growth in silence, she creates a foundation of inner peace that supports her as she moves forward on her journey. In conclusion, the act of nurturing growth in silence is an incredibly powerful and transformative experience. It is in the quiet moments of self-reflection, patience, and resilience that a woman becomes more aligned with her true self. By giving herself the space to grow without judgment or external pressure, she becomes stronger, wiser, and more self-reliant. Her journey of growth is not dependent on the validation of others, but on her own inner wisdom, and this is what makes it truly meaningful. Growth in silence allows her to evolve in her own time, at her own pace, and with a deep sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Honoring personal struggles is a powerful and transformative act, one that requires immense courage, patience, and self-compassion. A wise woman understands that struggle is not a sign of weakness or failure, but a vital part of her growth and evolution. It is through these struggles that she learns the most about herself, her strength, and her capacity to overcome challenges. Instead of avoiding or resenting her struggles, she embraces them with grace and resilience, knowing that they are essential to her personal development. At the heart of honoring personal struggles is the recognition that every challenge holds a lesson. Life is filled with obstacles, some big, some small, that seem to push us to our limits. Whether it's dealing with a loss, navigating a difficult relationship, managing financial hardship, or facing health issues, struggles come in many forms. While these experiences can feel overwhelming at times, they are also opportunities for growth. The key to honoring them lies in acknowledging their significance, accepting their presence, and learning from them. When a woman honors her struggles, she does not deny or suppress her feelings. She allows herself to feel the pain, frustration, fear, or anger that may arise in difficult moments. These emotions are not to be ignored or pushed aside, but to be embraced as part of her human experience. By fully experiencing and expressing her emotions, she creates space for healing. She understands that it is only through confronting her struggles head-on, without judgment or shame, that she can learn from them and eventually emerge stronger. Honoring her struggles also means recognizing the strength that exists within her, even in her weakest moments. It is easy to think of strength as something that is only evident in moments of triumph or success. But the truth is that true strength is often revealed in the way she handles adversity. A wise woman knows that it is during the most challenging times that her inner power shines brightest. When faced with obstacles, she taps into her resilience, her resourcefulness, and her unwavering belief in her ability to overcome. Even when she feels vulnerable or defeated, she remembers that every struggle is an opportunity to deepen her strength. Each time she rises after falling, she becomes stronger, more capable, and more attuned to her own inner wisdom. One of the most important aspects of honoring personal struggles is the practice of self-compassion. It is easy to be harsh and critical of ourselves when we are struggling, especially if we feel that we should be able to handle everything perfectly. But a wise woman understands that self-compassion is essential to healing. She doesn't berate herself for experiencing difficulty or for not having all the answers. Instead, she nurtures herself with kindness, recognizing that it's okay to be imperfect. She offers herself the same love and understanding that she would offer a close friend who was going through a hard time. By treating herself with compassion, she creates a safe space within herself to process her struggles and to grow from them. Honoring personal struggles also involves seeking support when needed. It can be tempting to try to handle everything alone, to put on a brave face and pretend that everything is fine. However, a wise woman knows that there is no shame in asking for help. She understands that reaching out for support, whether it's from a loved one, a therapist, or a community, can be a crucial step in navigating her struggles. By allowing others to help her, she not only gains valuable insights and perspective, but also fosters deeper connections with those around her. The act of being vulnerable and asking for support is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It shows that she values herself enough to recognize when she needs assistance and is willing to open herself up to the healing power of connection. Another important aspect of honoring personal struggles is the understanding that they are temporary. While struggles can often feel like they will last forever, a wise woman knows that nothing in life is permanent. Just as the seasons change, so too do the challenges she faces. Even though it may seem like the weight of her struggles will never lift, she reminds herself that this too shall pass. By recognizing the transient nature of hardship, she is able to navigate through difficult times with more peace and patience. She knows that every struggle, no matter how difficult, is part of a larger journey, and that eventually the storm will pass, leaving her stronger and wiser for having weathered it. Finally, honoring personal struggles means recognizing the power of forgiveness both toward others and, just as importantly, toward herself. Often struggles arise because of external circumstances, such as the actions of others, or because of mistakes she has made. A wise woman understands that holding on to resentment or guilt only prolongs the pain. She knows that forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or excusing her own missteps, but about freeing herself from the burden of negative emotions that keep her stuck. Forgiving herself for her perceived failures and forgiving others for their wrongdoings allows her to move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. In conclusion, honoring personal struggles is an act of self-respect and self-love. It is a recognition that struggle is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced as a powerful teacher. By fully experiencing her struggles, offering herself compassion, seeking support when needed, and embracing the lessons they bring, a woman becomes more resilient, more compassionate, and more aligned with her true self. Her struggles do not define her, but the way she handles them shapes her into the woman she is becoming, strong, wise, and capable of facing anything that life may throw her way. Through honoring her struggles, she discovers her inner strength and the limitless potential that lies within her. Maintaining inner peace is a deeply personal journey that requires consistent effort, mindfulness, and self-awareness. In a world that is often noisy, chaotic, and filled with external pressures, finding and nurturing a state of calm can seem like an impossible task. Yet, inner peace is not a distant ideal. It is a state of being that can be cultivated with intention, patience, and the right tools. It is the ability to remain grounded, centered, and undisturbed regardless of the storms that may swirl around us. A wise woman understands that inner peace is not something she can passively hope to attain. It is something she must actively choose to nurture, protect, and maintain each day. At the core of maintaining inner peace is the practice of self-awareness. A woman who strives for inner peace knows the importance of tuning in to her thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. She recognizes when negative emotions arise, whether it's anger, frustration, fear, or sadness, and understands that these emotions are signals, not directives. Instead of reacting impulsively or allowing these emotions to control her, she takes a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect. She understands that she has the power to choose how she responds to these feelings. Self-awareness allows her to identify the triggers that disturb her peace, whether they are external situations, relationships, or even her own internal thought patterns. Once she understands these triggers, she can take conscious steps to address them, thereby preventing them from eroding her inner peace. One of the most powerful tools for maintaining inner peace is mindfulness. Mindfulness involves staying present in the moment and fully experiencing whatever is happening right now without judgment or attachment. A wise woman practices mindfulness not only during meditation but throughout her day, whether she is eating, walking, working, or interacting with others. By staying present, she prevents her mind from wandering into the past or future, which are often sources of stress and anxiety. She understands that worrying about what has already happened or what may happen in the future takes her out of the present moment, where peace resides. Through mindfulness, she cultivates the ability to observe her thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. She becomes the observer of her experience rather than being consumed by it. Another key element of maintaining inner peace is letting go of the need to control everything. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be factors beyond her control. A wise woman knows that while she can control her actions, her responses, and her mindset, she cannot control everything that happens to her. Accepting this reality allows her to release the constant need for control, which can often lead to stress, frustration, and anxiety. Instead of trying to force situations to align with her desires, she learns to go with the flow and trust that life has its own rhythm. She understands that the best way to maintain her peace is to embrace uncertainty and trust that everything will unfold as it should. This surrender does not mean she gives up on her goals or aspirations, but rather that she remains open to the process, knowing that things may not always go according to plan, and that is okay. Forgiveness is another crucial practice in maintaining inner peace. Holding on to resentment, anger, or grudges can be a heavy burden on the soul, preventing peace from settling in. A wise woman understands that forgiveness is not for the other person, but for herself. When she forgives, she releases the emotional weight that ties her to past hurt, freeing herself from the energy that disrupts her peace. This doesn't mean condoning or excusing hurtful behavior, but rather choosing to let go of the negative emotions attached to it. By forgiving herself and others, she creates space for healing, understanding, and peace to take root in her heart. Forgiveness allows her to move forward with a lighter spirit, unburdened by the past and free to embrace the present moment. Setting boundaries is another essential practice for maintaining inner peace. A wise woman understands the importance of protecting her energy and emotional well-being. She knows that saying yes to everything or overextending herself can lead to burnout, frustration, and a sense of being overwhelmed. By setting healthy boundaries, she ensures that she is not giving more than she can reasonably handle. Whether it's in her personal or professional life, she learns to say no when necessary and prioritize her needs. These boundaries are not walls, rather they are tools of self-care that protect her peace. She understands that it is not selfish to put herself first. It is necessary for maintaining her inner balance and well-being. Setting boundaries allows her to maintain her peace without feeling guilty or resentful. Self-compassion is another vital aspect of maintaining inner peace. A wise woman recognizes that she is not perfect and that she will face challenges, make mistakes, and experience setbacks. Instead of berating herself or falling into self-criticism, she practices self-compassion. She offers herself the same kindness and understanding that she would offer a dear friend going through a difficult time. She forgives herself for her mistakes, learns from them, and moves forward with a sense of grace. Self-compassion helps her stay at peace with herself, even in moments of difficulty or imperfection. It reminds her that her worth is not tied to her successes or failures, but to her inherent value as a human being. Finally, a wise woman understands the importance of connection in maintaining inner peace. While inner peace is an internal state, it is often nurtured and supported by the relationships and connections she has with others. Surrounding herself with positive, loving, and supportive people helps to reinforce her sense of calm and well-being. She recognizes that toxic relationships, drama, and negativity can disturb her peace, so she chooses to cultivate relationships that uplift and inspire her. By creating a supportive network of people who honor and respect her, she fosters an environment where peace can flourish. In conclusion, maintaining inner peace is a continual practice that requires mindfulness, self-awareness, acceptance, forgiveness, and boundaries. It is about choosing to remain centered amidst the chaos of life, trusting that peace comes from within, and nurturing it with self-compassion and understanding. A wise woman knows that true peace is not about external circumstances aligning perfectly, but about cultivating a steady, calm presence in the midst of it all. By embracing these practices, she can maintain a sense of inner balance and tranquility, no matter what life may throw her way. Strengthening independence is a transformative journey that allows a woman to stand firmly in her own power, make decisions that align with her true desires, and live a life rooted in self-sufficiency and confidence. It is not just about being able to take care of oneself physically or financially, but about developing an inner resilience that empowers her to navigate the complexities of life with courage and clarity. Strengthening independence requires cultivating a mindset that values self-reliance while also recognizing the importance of balance and support from others. At the heart of strengthening independence is the development of self-awareness. A woman who seeks independence must first understand herself, the desires that drive her, the values that guide her, and the beliefs that shape her life. This level of self-awareness allows her to make decisions that are in alignment with her true essence rather than being influenced by societal expectations or the opinions of others. It is through knowing herself that she gains the confidence to trust her instincts and make choices that reflect her personal vision. Self-awareness is not just about acknowledging strengths, but also recognizing areas where growth is needed. A wise woman understands that her independence grows not only through her accomplishments, but also by embracing her flaws and learning from them. The next vital aspect of strengthening independence is financial empowerment. Being financially independent is a powerful step toward freedom, as it enables a woman to make decisions based on her own desires and goals, rather than being constrained by the financial influence of others. Financial independence comes from a combination of knowledge, discipline, and confidence. A wise woman understands the importance of budgeting, saving, and investing, and she makes decisions that build her financial security. She also knows that financial independence is not just about accumulating wealth, but about managing money wisely so that it serves her long-term goals. Whether it's securing her future, providing for her loved ones, or pursuing her passions, financial empowerment allows her to create a life on her own terms. She views money as a tool that enhances her independence, not as something that controls her. Strengthening independence also involves cultivating emotional resilience. Life is filled with challenges, unexpected events, disappointments, and difficult emotions, and how we respond to these difficulties plays a significant role in our independence. A woman who strengthens her emotional independence does not rely on others to validate her worth or guide her emotional responses. Instead, she learns to manage her emotions in a healthy and constructive way. She takes responsibility for her own happiness and well-being, understanding that her emotions are her own and not dependent on external circumstances. This emotional resilience allows her to face adversity with grace and strength. She acknowledges her feelings, processes them without judgment, and finds ways to move forward. By doing so, she creates a sense of inner peace and emotional stability that is not easily shaken by life's ups and downs. Another crucial aspect of strengthening independence is setting and maintaining boundaries. A woman who values her independence understands the importance of protecting her time, energy, and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out or being selfish, but about defining what is acceptable in her life and what is not. She knows that in order to maintain her sense of self and to stay true to her goals, she must say no to things that drain her or take her off course. Setting boundaries also involves recognizing when she is overextending herself and giving herself permission to prioritize her own needs. Whether it's in her personal relationships, her career, or her social obligations, she knows that maintaining healthy boundaries is a crucial part of safeguarding her independence. It is through these boundaries that she preserves her energy and creates space for the things that truly matter to her. Strengthening independence also requires cultivating self-confidence. A woman who is confident in herself and her abilities is less likely to seek validation or approval from others. She believes in her capacity to navigate life's challenges and is willing to take risks in pursuit of her dreams. Self-confidence is built through experience, practice, and a deep trust in one's own capabilities. It is through taking on new challenges, learning new skills, and overcoming obstacles that a woman's confidence grows. She learns to trust her intuition and make decisions without second-guessing herself. Even when faced with failure or setbacks, she does not lose faith in her ability to rise again. Her confidence is not based on external achievements, but on an inner knowing that she is capable, resourceful, and strong. Another critical component of strengthening independence is the ability to make decisions and take responsibility for them. A wise woman understands that independence is about owning her choices and the outcomes that come with them. She does not blame others for her circumstances or wait for someone else to make decisions for her. Instead, she takes full ownership of her life and the direction it is headed. When things go well, she celebrates her successes, and when things don't go as planned, she learns from her mistakes. She sees each decision as an opportunity to grow rather than something to fear. This sense of accountability and personal responsibility reinforces her independence, as she realizes that the power to shape her future lies in her hands. Developing a strong sense of purpose is another important aspect of strengthening independence. A woman with a clear vision of her purpose is empowered to make decisions that align with her goals and values. She does not allow distractions or the opinions of others to pull her off course. Her sense of purpose acts as a guiding light that keeps her focused, even when faced with obstacles or uncertainty. Whether her purpose is related to her career, family, personal growth, or a combination of things, it serves as the foundation of her independence. Knowing her purpose gives her the confidence to take bold actions and make decisions that reflect her deepest desires. Finally, strengthening independence is not about isolating oneself or rejecting help from others. While independence is about standing on one's own 2 feet, it also involves recognizing that support from others can be a powerful resource. A wise woman knows when to seek guidance, when to lean on her loved ones, and when to accept help. She understands that independence does not mean doing everything alone, but having the strength to choose when and how to accept support. She values her relationships and builds a strong network of people who encourage, uplift, and inspire her. In conclusion, strengthening independence is a multifaceted process that requires self-awareness, emotional resilience, financial empowerment, boundary setting, self-confidence, decision-making, and a clear sense of purpose. It is about standing in one's power, trusting oneself, and creating a life that is aligned with one's true desires and values. While independence is a personal journey, it is also a dynamic process that involves knowing when to rely on oneself and when to seek support. A wise woman knows that strengthening her independence is not a one-time event, but a continual practice that enriches every aspect of her life. Valuing self-responsibility is a powerful practice that empowers a woman to take full ownership of her life and the choices she makes. It is the recognition that her actions, decisions, and mindset shape the direction of her life, and that she holds the key to creating the life she desires. This understanding encourages personal growth, accountability, and a deep sense of empowerment. Rather than blaming external circumstances or other people for her challenges, a woman who values self-responsibility takes full control of her life. She acknowledges that while she cannot control everything that happens to her, she has the power to decide how she responds to every situation. Self-responsibility begins with an understanding of the role she plays in her own life story. A wise woman knows that she is not a passive bystander in her journey, but an active participant. She understands that every choice, no matter how small, contributes to her path. She does not wait for someone else to make decisions for her, nor does she rely on external factors to determine her happiness or success. Instead, she owns her decisions, even when they lead to mistakes or setbacks, because she knows that each experience provides valuable lessons that contribute to her growth. When things do not go as planned, she does not shift blame to others or external circumstances. Instead, she takes responsibility, learns from her experiences, and moves forward with greater wisdom. Another essential aspect of self-responsibility is the ability to create and maintain healthy boundaries. A woman who values self-responsibility knows that her energy and time are precious, and she is intentional about how she allocates them. She does not allow others to dictate her priorities or overwhelm her with demands. She understands that setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care. These boundaries help her protect her emotional, mental, and physical well-being, ensuring that she is not spread too thin or giving more than she can handle. She learns to say no when necessary without guilt and to prioritize her own needs and goals. By taking responsibility for her own time and energy, she avoids burnout and maintains a sense of balance in her life. Valuing self-responsibility also means taking responsibility for one's emotional well-being. It is easy to fall into the trap of blaming others or external circumstances for our emotions. But a woman who values self-responsibility knows that her emotional state is ultimately her own responsibility. She does not give others the power to dictate how she feels, nor does she expect others to make her happy. She recognizes that her happiness, peace, and emotional health are internal experiences that she has control over. When faced with challenges or difficult emotions, she doesn't look to others for validation or rescue. Instead, she takes the time to process her emotions, understand their root causes, and take constructive action. She knows that emotional maturity comes from owning her feelings and choosing how to respond to them in a healthy and empowered way. Self-responsibility also involves being accountable for one's goals and actions. A wise woman understands that she is the only person responsible for achieving her dreams. She knows that success does not come from waiting for the perfect circumstances or relying on others to make things happen. She takes full responsibility for the pursuit of her goals, and she does not shy away from hard work or the necessary steps required to reach them. She is proactive and disciplined, staying focused on what she wants and taking the necessary actions to make it happen. Even when she encounters obstacles or setbacks, she does not give up or look for excuses. Instead, she reassesses her approach, learns from her challenges, and continues to push forward with determination. She holds herself accountable for both her successes and her failures, knowing that both offer valuable lessons that contribute to her growth. Moreover, valuing self-responsibility means recognizing the power of one's thoughts and beliefs. A woman who values self-responsibility knows that her mindset shapes her reality. She takes responsibility for the way she thinks, choosing thoughts that align with her values, goals, and aspirations. She is aware of the impact that negative or limiting beliefs can have on her life, and she actively works to replace them with empowering beliefs that support her growth and success. She does not allow fear, doubt, or negative self-talk to control her actions. Instead, she cultivates a mindset of self-belief and resilience. By taking responsibility for her thoughts, she creates a foundation of inner strength and confidence that empowers her to pursue her dreams with courage and conviction. In addition to personal growth, valuing self-responsibility also extends to the way a woman interacts with the world around her. A woman who values self-responsibility understands that her actions have consequences not only for herself but for others as well. She takes responsibility for the impact she has on the people she interacts with, whether in her personal relationships, her work environment, or her community. She is conscious of the energy she brings to any situation and strives to contribute positively to the lives of others. She treats people with respect, honesty, and kindness, knowing that her behavior and attitudes have the power to influence the world around her. She does not play the victim or look for others to take responsibility for her actions. Instead, she holds herself accountable for the role she plays in her interactions and works to create harmony and understanding in her relationships. Self-responsibility is also an essential part of personal growth and self-improvement. A woman who values self-responsibility constantly strives to evolve and improve herself. She does not blame her circumstances or other people for her shortcomings, but instead takes ownership of the areas in her life that need improvement. Whether it's in her career, relationships, health, or personal development, she is proactive about seeking growth and learning. She invests time and energy into acquiring new skills, broadening her knowledge, and becoming the best version of herself. She is not afraid of challenges because she understands that each challenge is an opportunity to grow, learn, and become more resilient. Finally, valuing self-responsibility means embracing the power of choice. A wise woman knows that her life is shaped by the choices she makes every day. She does not passively allow life to happen to her. Instead, she makes conscious decisions that align with her goals and values. She takes responsibility for the decisions she makes, whether they involve her career, relationships, finances, or personal development. She understands that every choice, no matter how small, has the potential to shape her future. By taking ownership of her choices, she empowers herself to create the life she desires. In conclusion, valuing self-responsibility is about taking ownership of one's life, actions, and emotional well-being. It is the recognition that we have the power to shape our own destiny through the choices we make and the way we respond to life's challenges. A woman who values self-responsibility does not wait for others to fix her problems or determine her happiness. She takes control of her life and creates the future she desires. Through self-awareness, emotional maturity, accountability, and the power of choice, she strengthens her sense of empowerment and creates a life of purpose, fulfillment, and growth.